So here's my Electromatic Gretsch Pro Jet that you've probably seen a few times if you look at my channel. I want to show you a couple things that I've done to it recently that have somewhat stabilized the tuning and intonation. One of the problems with the Pro Jets of this vintage was the bridge was always just a little bit too far back. When they drilled the holes for the posts, it was too far back, so then you'd have to adjust all of your saddles forward, which then made the string hit the back of the saddle. So I've tried various things, like on the original Tunematic bridge, I filed out some grooves so the strings wouldn't hit it. One of the things I did was changed out to the Bigsby, and the appropriate one for this, if you're not using the B5, is this B7, but when you run the strings underneath this roller, the angle coming up to the saddle was so sharp that no matter what you did, even with this Wilkinson roller bridge, there was so much tension on everything right here that it would always just be a couple cents out when you use your tremolo, so you'd have to find that balance to make it work. One of the things I tried in the past was skipping this roller, but then on a heavy bend your string would fall out of the Tunematic. And this Wilkinson bridge here, I don't know if you can see it, the rollers, which some people say suck tone, but it's probably better than having the strings fall out. The grooves in the roller themselves tend to keep the strings in. So this setup so far has been the best thing I've come across, I think. I'm actually going to go play it tonight out, and but I've been dinking around with it for a couple days. Another problem I had with this guitar was the intonation. Every time I played anything down here, I'd have to press so lightly, which I kind of have a heavy grip, that it would just be a little bit out of tune. And you can see this little piece of welding rod I stuck in here. Really changes that just enough so that when I tune up the guitar and I have it intonated at the bridge, that this seems to play really well. So you might want to fiddle around with that. It wasn't a huge deal. Actually, I filed my nut down so that the strings were too low, and then when I wedged that in there, I actually put a little bit of a notch to kind of hold it in place. And then you're probably wondering what that god-awful ugly thing is on the headstock. This is something, I had one of these on a Strat copy years and years ago. This is actually a Fender piece that they no longer make, and I found it on eBay. It's a locking nut with fine tuners on it. So, because there is no such thing for, you can't really have anything locking on a Bigsby. They do make a fine tuning part that goes here for Bigsby. There is something out there, but I haven't tried it. But I had experience with this, and this seems to work really well. So it clamps down on the strings, and if you look real close in there, you can see these little tabs push down on the strings to operate the fine tuning. So now I have a locking nut, I have an intonation adjuster, I have a rolling bridge to keep the strings from falling out, and of course, being rolling, it makes the Bigsby work better. Then I've opted out of running the strings underneath to get rid of that drastic angle, which was just too much downward pressure. So there you have it. Oh, by the way, and I'm still liking the Rio Grande Texas barbecue pickups, so I haven't changed that. So other than that, I think this guitar is completely different than when I purchased it, but I like it.